Most women are unaware of the immense influence these particular habits can have. When a woman begins to incorporate them into her life, she develops a compelling presence that men find deeply captivating. Once a woman masters these approaches, her sense of self becomes unshakable. You might not be conscious of it, but certain subtle yet potent habits in a woman's daily life hold a special fascination for men. These habits extend far beyond physical appearance or conventional attractiveness. They are practices that showcase a woman's inner fortitude and self-assurance. These very qualities not only draw others to her in relationships, but also cultivate profound respect. It is in this dynamic that the true measure of a woman's strength and captivating nature is revealed. Carl Jung, in his deep explorations of human psychology, highlighted the significance of uncovering one's own inner strength and capabilities. When a woman cultivates these habits, men find themselves drawn to her not just on a physical level, but on an emotional one as well. This is because these practices create a magnetic pull that resonates deeply within a man. Through engaging in these habits, many women consistently build stronger and more resilient relationships. So, what are these powerful habits? We are about to delve into those potent and irresistible habits that are an intrinsic part of a woman's character. But before we begin, I'd like to invite you to support our community by subscribing to the channel and liking this video. You might also consider sharing this video with a woman in your life to help her unlock these qualities within herself. We'd love to hear from you, so don't forget to mention which of these habits resonates with you in the comments below. Now, let's explore this topic more deeply. A woman's allure stems not just from her external appearance, but from the richness of her inner world and the uniqueness of her perspective on life. When a woman harmonizes strength with grace, she becomes almost impossible to ignore. She is the type of woman who commands attention the moment she enters a space, yet she does so effortlessly. Her beauty is found not only in her features, but in her choice of words, the depth of her gaze, and the way she makes you feel in her presence. It is this internal power which transcends ordinary routines that creates such a magical quality. The aura of a woman who is confident, who loves and accepts herself completely, and who radiates a positive light with her energy is evident in her every action. A woman who nurtures these habits is not just attractive on the outside, but is equally beautiful within. First habit: know and understand yourself. When a woman genuinely knows and understands herself, she interacts with the world from an entirely different standpoint. Delving into her own being, understanding herself not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, grants her a unique strength and attractiveness. To know herself is to see her own life with greater clarity, and most importantly, to build unwavering self-confidence. The more a woman can pinpoint what she truly values, what she enjoys, and what she doesn't, the more powerful the energy she projects. This is because self-knowledge means you are no longer shaped by external pressures, but instead find your inner peace, your resolve, and the clarity to chart your own course. When a woman embarks on this journey of self-discovery, she learns to respect not only others, but also her own spirit. She begins to focus on her own values, passions, and goals, rather than acting solely on the judgments of the outside world. For instance, when a woman makes choices rooted in her inner strength instead of societal expectations, it naturally elevates the respect she receives from those around her. Cultivating emotional balance and enhancing her emotional intelligence brings her not only personal achievement, but also a unique charm in her relationships. Self-awareness also fosters greater transparency and honesty in her interactions. Because she understands herself, she feels no need to be manipulative or disingenuous with others. Her true self is apparent, which makes her both trustworthy and impressive. As Carl Jung once suggested, you cannot truly comprehend the world until you comprehend yourself. This is precisely the point where a woman's self-awareness, her ability to consciously guide her life, and her presence in each moment reveal her inner power. A woman who values herself approaches others with that same sense of worth. People are always drawn to the strength that comes from knowing and loving oneself. It would be challenging for a woman who doesn't know herself to project her inner strength to others. A woman who is self-aware makes sound decisions, builds healthy connections, and acts with conviction. This depth of understanding is an energy that is reflected outwardly. When a woman demonstrates the peace and equilibrium of her inner world with every step, her presence becomes captivating. Knowing her own identity and values not only enhances her attractiveness, but also gives her a genuine sense of empowerment and independence. When a woman knows herself, her positive influence on the world grows. It is this inner confidence and balance that brings her not only peace, but also admiration from all around. So, if you learn to recognize your own self-worth as a woman, nothing can diminish your spirit. Second habit, prioritizing your emotional well-being. When a woman demonstrates that she cares for herself, it sends a powerful message to everyone she interacts with. Consider this. In a world where everyone is often preoccupied with their own needs and desires, how do you reserve time for your own inner tranquility? When you consistently neglect yourself, you begin to experience burnout, both emotionally and physically. But herein lies the secret. A woman must first tend to her own needs and emotional health before she can be consistently present for others. You might have someone in your life who feels like your entire world, but it is crucial to always place yourself at the forefront. During an emotionally taxing period, a woman might choose to spend some time alone to rest and rejuvenate, rather than focusing her energy on others. This is not a sign of selfishness. On the contrary, it represents self-respect and the establishment of healthy boundaries. She must recognize the importance of finding equilibrium within her own inner world. Honoring a woman's emotional needs is a fundamental step that allows her to be of genuine service to others. When a woman manages her energy in a balanced way, it is a testament to her high emotional intelligence. The more she gives to others without replenishing herself, the more depleted she becomes. This state of burnout inevitably begins to affect her relationships. Keeping yourself mentally and emotionally refreshed and strong is the bedrock of any healthy connection. In practical terms, taking time for yourself, engaging in activities you love, clearing your mind of clutter, and allowing yourself to relax will make you significantly more effective and appealing. A woman takes care of her emotional well-being not only for her own happiness, but also to bring more value to the people in her life. When she discovers peace within herself, everyone around her benefits from that positive energy. This allows her to form healthier, more meaningful, and productive bonds in her relationships. As Carl Jung expressed, an individual can only affect others positively through the balance they have cultivated in their own inner world. Without this internal harmony, a woman can lose her sense of self and find herself living according to the expectations of others. However, no one can overwhelm a woman who emotionally nurtures, rests, and renews herself. Because she takes the best possible care of herself, she inspires others and offers them a valuable and positive energy. No one can wear her down because she has tapped into her inner strength as a resilient and independent woman. Therefore, one of the most attractive habits a woman can possess is the prioritization of her own emotional health and wellness. Never feel a sense of guilt for doing this, because when you feel your best, you can offer the best version of yourself to the world. Consequently, one of the most impressive qualities of a woman is her commitment to her own needs. Do not allow others to lead you to neglect your emotional well-being. Rediscover yourself. Find your inner peace, because this will make you stronger and more resolute with each passing day. Third habit, setting boundaries. Imagine a woman who constantly devotes herself to others, consistently placing their needs before her own. Regardless of how much she cares for those around her, at a certain point, she will begin to feel her own light dim. This is because for a person to value others in a healthy manner, they must first establish and protect their own boundaries. One of the most powerful habits a woman can develop is the ability to clearly define and defend her personal limits. This includes not only physical boundaries, but also emotional and mental ones. If a woman is feeling unwell or overwhelmed, she should feel empowered to express it. When she desires time alone, she should be able to state it without feeling obligated to provide a lengthy explanation to anyone. Similarly, she should never permit others to disregard her boundaries. Taking such a stance does not make her selfish. On the contrary, it fosters maturity and a healthy inner equilibrium. Protecting her own space and emotional health is about not allowing external factors to dictate her state of being. When a woman is clear about her own boundaries, no one can exert undue emotional or physical pressure on her. She is a woman who has the strength to say no to others in order to say yes to her own well-being. This is one of her most impressive habits. For example, if a woman is constantly met with demands from people around her that cause her to neglect her own needs, she must be able to stand up for herself. For instance, if a friend or partner persistently demands her time in a way that is detrimental to her, she should be able to set clear limits. She should feel comfortable saying, "I need to focus on myself right now. I need some time alone." Advocating for yourself is the most effective step you can take to protect your emotional health. Carl Jung once noted that the path of self-knowledge is the most challenging, but also the most fulfilling journey. Without knowing yourself and defining your emotional boundaries, it is impossible to genuinely help others in a healthy way. Identifying your own limits and defending them when necessary not only reveals a woman's inner strength, but also demonstrates a healthy and clear attitude toward those around her. A woman's true strength is shown when she sets her own boundaries while still respecting others. No matter how much respect she shows to others, she must not neglect herself and must teach others to honor her limits. In doing so, she preserves her own emotional balance and creates a healthy dynamic in her relationships. Setting boundaries will not leave her isolated. Instead, it will make her stronger, more attractive, and more respected. She shows the world the respect and power she holds for herself. Therefore, setting her own boundaries is a woman's way of expressing herself authentically. And this is what makes her both captivating and capable of forging her own path without bending to anyone's will. Fourth habit, speaking the truth fearlessly. Imagine how taxing it must be for a woman to constantly strive for everything to be perfect, to always appear happy and agreeable about every situation. Imagine the pressure of that. But real strength lies in courageously speaking the truth. A woman who speaks her truth without fear is one who is capable of expressing her inner thoughts, regardless of societal opinions or expectations. This is precisely what makes her unforgettable. Being brave isn't just about performing great physical feats. True bravery is about expressing what you think and feel in a constructive way and always remaining loyal to your own truth. It is about a woman staying true to herself and her inner world, no matter how much she might feel the pull for society's approval. A courageous woman is one who speaks the truth at the appropriate time and in the appropriate manner. This goes beyond simple emotional honesty. For example, it is a far more powerful act for a woman to address problems in her relationship directly than to ignore them. If a woman needs to discuss an issue with her partner, she does so without apprehension. She doesn't wait for a perfect moment to express herself or to share her emotional burdens, because she protects her inner peace by living without external barriers and masks. Speaking the truth fearlessly means not being afraid that others might be unsettled by what she has to say. A woman's ability to speak her mind without fear shows that she is not only strong, but also that she possesses an inner freedom. A woman who can reveal herself and her feelings without concealment is respected not just in her relationship, but in every area of her life. No one can attain true freedom by constantly wearing masks and hiding their thoughts from others. A courageous woman always says what she believes is right, unswayed by external criticism or the opinions of others. She remains graceful and constructive even when delivering difficult truths, but she never compromises her courage. As Carl Jung once remarked, truth does not always defend itself. Sometimes you have to approach it with courage. This statement beautifully defines the power of bravery in revealing the truth. A courageous woman is not afraid to express herself because she builds trust in the world simply by presenting her authentic self. She is the woman who shows her inner strength to the world, who has no hesitation in expressing her thoughts, and who always stands by her own convictions. The more courageous a woman is, the more expressive and powerful she becomes in her self-expression. Speaking the truth without fear not only strengthens a woman internally, but also establishes her as a recognized and respected individual in her community. Courage empowers a woman to take control of her own life in any situation without deferring to others. This makes her not only attractive, but also indispensable. Fifth habit, embracing her feminine essence. One of the most magical and fascinating aspects of a woman is the power of her feminine energy. Within every woman exists this energy that holds a natural charm and allure. This is not merely a physical attraction, but a much deeper and more impactful energy. When a woman channels this energy in a positive way, she can influence everyone around her. But this power is not solely about appearance. It is also about confidence, inner peace, and emotional intelligence. Feminine energy is fueled by a woman's emotional intelligence, compassion, kindness, empathy, and also by her alluring confidence. When this energy manifests as compassion and care for others, it makes the world feel like a warmer and more inviting place. At the same time, this energy is directly connected to how much a woman loves and cares for herself, both physically and emotionally. How a woman projects her feminine essence is directly related to how she interacts with every part of her life, her relationships, her work, and her friendships. A woman who is aware of her feminine energy expresses it naturally. She reflects this energy not only in her interactions with a person or in a particular setting, but also in her overall outlook on the world and the impression she leaves. Her gaze, her smile, the way she carries herself in a room, and the tone of her voice all carry traces of her feminine energy. This energy is not just a physical quality. It is an inner freedom, a strength combined with self-assurance and grace. She embraces all facets of herself, and this deep confidence is keenly felt by others. Imagine a woman who is at the center of her world, not just because of her physical charm, but because of her inner strength. A woman who is conscious of her feminine energy impresses everyone around her with both her physical presence and her spiritual depth. This energy carries such a potent force that others feel that being in her company is a special opportunity. And the most powerful aspect is this: this energy has a magnetic quality that no person can easily resist. A woman who uses her innate allure in the right way creates a deep connection that is not only physical, but also emotional, because she is aware of her own value and self-love. She knows that she is worthy of the respect and attention of those around her. This feminine energy is effective not only in romantic relationships, but also in her social and professional life. People feel more at ease, valued, and special when they are around a woman with a high degree of feminine energy. This makes her respected not just romantically, but in every aspect of her life. Carl Jung once said, "When a woman realizes her inner strength, she becomes closer to the essence of nature." When a woman is aware of her feminine energy, she is not only attractive, but also possesses a profound inner freedom. She is not afraid to show the world who she truly is. She celebrates not only her feminine power, but also her inner liberty. This freedom and courage make her truly unforgettable. Feminine energy is a force that connects a woman's spirit, physical being, and mind. A woman who recognizes and nurtures this energy has a profound positive effect on both herself and those around her. And that is why no man can resist a woman who radiates her feminine energy, because that woman is not only physically impressive, but also emotionally and mentally captivating. When a woman realizes her own power so clearly, nothing can diminish the strength of that energy. Sixth habit, being financially independent. Achieving financial independence not only strengthens a woman financially, but also significantly enhances her emotional and mental freedom. A truly independent woman builds her life on her own labor, effort, and intelligence, not merely on what others can provide for her. The power a woman feels from earning her own money creates an inner freedom that is not dependent on external factors. While many may associate this with material possessions, this independence actually holds a much deeper and more significant meaning. A woman's financial empowerment gives her the capacity to break free from dependence on others and to be the director of her own life. Being financially independent allows a woman to make her life decisions with greater liberty. No one else has control over her finances. No one can dictate her choices. A woman's financial freedom affords her a lifestyle that makes her feel valued and allows her to recognize her own identity and power. Imagine a woman who earns her own money. She is not just a woman, but a strong individual. She demonstrates that she can thrive based solely on her own efforts, without needing to rely on others. In such a woman's life, there is no fear of being in a difficult position or being dependent on someone else, because she is a woman who has carved her own path, built her own success, and knows her own worth. As Carl Jung noted, inner freedom begins with freedom from external dependencies. This perfectly encapsulates what a woman's financial independence signifies. She becomes free not only in her finances, but also emotionally and mentally. Financial independence lessens her emotional reliance on others and allows her to engage with life on her own terms. Such a woman is in control in every situation and lives her life her own way. A woman who can earn her own money is always stronger and more attractive in relationships because she does not feel the need to depend on others. She doesn't place the burden on a man to be the sole provider or to subsidize her life. This woman is already capable enough to manage her own life financially. For her, the power dynamics in a relationship are not based on someone else's financial support. She builds her relationship on a foundation of true equality. Most importantly, a woman who earns her own money does not feel the need to constantly seek approval from others. Everything is within her own control. This independence gives her the freedom to shape her life as she wishes, to take confident steps toward her goals, and to make decisions that align with her own needs. This woman is always one step ahead, both in her relationships and in her life. These habits are truly golden principles that can elevate a woman from a place of uncertainty to a position of strength. Each one is a critical step that will enable her to discover her inner power, give her life a new direction, and fortify her stance in all her relationships. These habits guide a woman through the process of self-discovery toward building strong and healthy connections. External achievements alone are not enough to transform a woman's life. Being an internally balanced, strong, and free person has the greatest impact on her external world. It is these habits that unlock a woman's full potential and make her truly unforgettable. The philosophy of Stoicism offers us profound teachings on how to navigate life's challenges. It emphasizes the importance of emotional balance, healthy ways of thinking, and inner strength. When a woman applies this philosophy to her life, it not only improves her emotional intelligence, but also transforms her relationships with the people around her. Carl Jung's teachings also advocate for journeying deep within and confronting one's own shadow aspects. By acknowledging the less understood parts of oneself, a woman can establish a more solid foundation for who she is. Jung suggests that self-knowledge and the resolution of inner conflicts are the sources of true power. This internal transformation has a profound effect on a woman's relationships with her environment. When a woman does not know and accept herself, her connections with the outside world can remain superficial. However, if you are a strong and conscious woman who knows herself, no external force in this world can negatively affect you. If you enjoyed this video, we would be grateful if you would leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. Also, please consider sharing it with someone you care about and help us bring this message to as many women as possible. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.